do? What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? All right, people. You know what it is. Let's me investigate this real quick. I have myself. There we go. I have myself muted because I was doing a different stream. Anyway, you know what time it is. Tom Bizzle is in the hizzle. What? Okay, so I know Tom's already knows. It came from inside the house. Yes, Buck Nasty is correct. And yes, I wanted to put that title just because it's what it is. Here it is, fam. Bam. And I have mine mounted, so I'm not going to like swing it around and fondle and show you all the things. Appearance-wise, they're almost the same, but not quite. The SM7dB is slightly bigger, but not anything noticeable. It's actually like a little bit lighter, which is weird. But I have to say, basics. Just if you're in a hurry and you can't be here today, I want to give you the basics so that you know. Wait, there we go. I want to give you the basics so that you know what's going on. All right. They took the Shure SM7b and they added a preamp. So that is what makes this doper. And it's amazing. Like, it's really hard to explain how much better it makes it, but I'm going to do some demonstrations here for a second and show you guys what the difference is. But this is what it looks like on the screen. Here, let me embiggen this just a taste. Ooh, hey, don't embiggen it like that, ding dong. You got to embiggen it like that. There you go. Okay, so what you'll notice on the back, two things just right out the gate. Now, there's a bunch of technical mumbly-jumbly that goes with this, but these switches on the back represent a filter roll-offs that you can do. So this one is a low-pass filter in order to take some of the boom out of a microphone. And then this other one that's on the right, that's a mid-presence boost. And so that gives you that signature SM7B sound. On this particular one that I've used forever and a day since Tuesday, let me switch to this camera real quick. I've always run it flat. Like, I don't really use any of that frequency cuteness because, can you do that? There you go. I don't really use any of that frequency cuteness because my voice is naturally sexy. I was born like this, right? But as you all know, until we got the Rodecaster Pro 2, you normally would have had to put on some sort of a preamp in order to bring out that gain so that you can get that good sound, right? What I've always done is just done it without the preamp because I have a loud voice. I never really need it. And I also run my microphone in pure naked. So what I want to do is go back and forth and show you the difference. And then right now, I'm actually running this particular mic in SM7B mode. Yes, I have the preamp bypassed and I have the Rodecaster Duo on like the same exact setting. So in order to show that, I don't want to muck with my camera. I'm going to bring up Rode Central and then I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm going to put it on the screen so y'all can see what we doing up in this piece. So audio setting ups. And let me grab a screen sharing window and then select. That's what I love about this Rode software, though, is you can just do something cute like that here. All right, so I'm going to make the SM7dB just a little bit smaller. I wish it was a little bit smaller. And then we got to go this one like that there. And then, actually, let's take this to the next levy and then put on a little camera action and then unembiggen that. And switch it to towel or squircle or something else. Let's go squircle. I'm feeling squirkly today. All right, there we go. All right, so now what we're gonna do, if I click onto this here microphone, this particular one, this is the SM7dB. it will forever be now known as pink. The green one is the SM7B. And what I'm going to do is off the processing on that and off the processing on that. So now you're hearing both of these microphones as if they were SM7Bs, just raw naked, right? So neither one of them have processing on. They have the exact same settings. If we were to go into the advanced, you got to turn that on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Cancel. 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 If I was to show you what I had the various effects set for, like if I go here, I have them identical on both micros, right? So every single one of these settings is identicated. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want one to be different. I don't use noise gate, so that's silly. I hate that thing. That's just me. I know some people like it. I can't stand it. Anyway, I just want to prove because, you know, people come into Tom's chat throwing a little heat, trying to say, oh, you did this because you're mean. I was like, Tom's not mean. So I just want to prove that all of the settings are identical. Okay, so let me close this here for a splitsies. And I am actually talking on pink right now, which is the SM7dB. Before I go further, let me just check on you folks to see what it is. Hello, Marina. Welcome from Spain. My new friend we met this morning. Yes. Okay, now listen. So I have to do the question that is everyone is going to ask. So I want to do the question right away. And I'm going to save your question, Marina, and come back to that because I got an answer to that. And yes. All right. So let me do this. Boom. So the D in SM7dB does stand for Doc Tom. Tom Bizzle, my man. Listen. Okay. This question is guaranteed going to come out. If I already own the SM7B, do I need to upgrade to the SM7dB? And the answer is no. Absolutely not. The only thing that's going to be different that you can't exactly pull off, if you were to take this beauty and add a cloud lifter from Roger Cloud or SE Electronics, you could get almost there. The cloud lifter is 25 dB of an extra gain to add to this. That's going to set you back around about 120 to 150 bucks. Okay. The SE Electronics is going to set you back like 99 bucks. And then things with a little color, not so transparent, like the Soyez, would set you back like 120 bucks, right? And you add one of those and they're going to add some gain. Those are 25 dB, which is more than enough for pretty much every mixer. This is 28. It's a little different. The one advantage to the dB now is that having that extra 28 dB of gain, you don't need an extra wire. You don't need an extra device. It kind of simplifies the setup. So they basically took this guy from 1970, which was again updated in like 98 and then again updated to the B. Alpha was like 98, 99. The B was like 2001. So the SM7B that we know, that's from 2001. So basically for 50 years, this microphone is kind of sort of untouched, right? And why? Because it works. Why is it the standard? Because it is. Like it is what it is. So they've basically added that what you would need with a cloud lifter built into this mic. And then I'll go back in and show you some base level comparisons so that you know that the B and the DB straight out of Compton, exactly the same. In this particular mode, I am currently using this microphone, SM7dB, in the SM7B mode. Means none of the beautifications have been adjusted at this point in time. Okay, and then to Marina's question, I can absolutely tell you that you have to activate phantom power only if you are going to use the dB. So if I go back to my screen here and I pop on this bad boy, you'll see I have phantom power off. When I switch on the preamp, and I will definitely get my fingers used to where it is. And it will work, but it's loud AF because of all of that extra gain. I can be all the way to freak back here. Okay, that's better. Like when you put holy goodness, when you put that sucker on and I leave it at 55, it is stupid loud. Like I gotta back halfway across the room just to get it to not blast all you guys. It's kind of incredible, but we'll get into the deep deeps in just the splitsies. Okay, so uh yo, Dallas Cowboys sucked. Never mind. I want to finish that sentence. Worst team in the planet. Their racist owner. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, yes, definitely a lot of competition in the space, but honestly, it's really hard. Yes, the redundant setup. There you go. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's do a listen real quick. And again, you're listening to Pink right now, and I have it in the regular mode. Let me switch it over to green. And so this is green. And for the most part, they should be identical. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to turn processing off on Pink. So let me switch it back. All right, so here's Pink with no processing. And here's green with no processing. So yes, if we were to just do a quick read, let me do this. And the pink one is the SM7dB, and the green one is the SM7b. When I switch them back and forth, okay. Let me do a quick read. And, you got to have yourself some text to read when you do one of these tests. So I have a basic test that I like to do and make sure you use the same thing. Now, you could read the stuff or you could just have it in your brain. But anyway, we'll just walk through some of the talking points just so you can hear. So I'm going to flip them back and forth. And in order to do that, I am going to hide this. And unfortunately, you won't be able to tell, but know 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As I start now, I'm on green. I'll switch over to pink and I'll try to mute them, but it's really hard to do with my two fingers. So let's starting right now. We're starting on the SM7dB. Let's do it. Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's the livest one representing BK to the fullest. Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's the livest one representing BK to the fullest. All right. So you hear it. They are primarily the same. Okay. Now what we're going to do, and I want to show you, I want to crank up the volume on the mixer. And I really wish that Rode allowed me to show you this on the screen. But I'm going to crank up the volume on the mixer, starting with the SM7B. And I want you to hear the noise that you would pick up in the room whenever the host is dead silent. And I'm going to crank this up loud so that you can hear it. Okay, we're at 55 dB. And I just noticed on your guys' side, you can't see the little bumpy bump thing move. But when I'm totally quiet here, there's a little teeny bit of room noise. Here, let me do this. I got an idea. I got an idea of a way I can show you this. All right. We're going to put you on the top there, we. All right, now. So, when your boy no say nothing, you see that? That line is like solid, quiet. And again, that's my SM7B. That's the way I have my Rodecaster set up, right? So what happens is people come in and they say, hey, man, you're not loud enough, but can you make it louder? And so what people do, now you can hear the noise. And see, Marina's wearing headphones, so Marina can hear it. But I can hear the air, the room noise. You can also see it dancing a wee bit inside Ecamm. Right? That's Marina because I cranked it up to 62. Here, let me do it on the screen again so it's easier. That extra sound, that's room noise. That's what you hear in a lot of folks' mics when you have a mic that doesn't reject that room noise. The SM7B is designed to reject that room noise. One of the other things that you can do for your mic, I don't care whether you have an SM7B or not, you can do this with any mic. This is where USB mics can't really do this, whereas XLR mics can. By adding something like a cloud lifter or a preamp, or in this case on the SM7dB that's already built into the mic, I am going to turn on the 18 plus 18 dB gain, and I'm going to adjust accordingly so that you can hear it. So let me switch over to this, and I'll do the same tests. So here it is, the super quiet noise floor. Now, this is actually quieter than the SM7B, but it's there at 62, but you notice Ecamm is not dancing because it's not, this is quieter. At 65, it's about equal. Okay? Dare him. Now listen to that. That is beautiful. It is quiet. I got it all the way down to 32. And listen to how gorgeous that is with the pre. I only have the preamp on 18. I'm going to pop the preamp to 28. Now at plus 28, that depth, that clarity, actually I got to back this down. That depth and clarity is there. The mic is super clean. The room noise is basically gone. It would even allow me to, not lean into the mic as much for the presence because the gain is so high. So before, you have to lean in deep in order to get that SM7B presence. With the gain set where it is, I can actually back out and keep some of that SM7B presence, because with the SM7dB, I actually have that preamp kicked in, and that's with a plus 28 on the preamp. And again, I haven't even touched the processing yet, So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the processing, and you'll hear that extra signature sound. But before I do that, I want to flip a couple switches, okay? So like I said, I don't use the bass roll-off at all. Let me unembiggen Ecamm thing for a second. This guy right here, the first one on the left, I don't really use the bass roll-off at all, but let me let you hear it. And this is with the bass roll-off turned on. So I'll read my line again. Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. Okay. And yes, so, if we're like, welcome to Ecamm Live 4.1. In the newest version of Ecamm Live, we have added a whole bunch of signature overlay updates. That's the voice you guys are used to hearing me doing my Ecamm things. And it's just clean. This is so clean. No, this thing would not hear your cat because it rejects noise. I have a fan on a 200-watt light here running full blast and you cannot hear it. I have a fan on the 60-watt light running half blast and you can't hear that. And I have an air conditioning running and you can't hear that. So again, one of the reasons why the SM7b is the industry standard, along with things like the Electro Voice RE20 and the other dynamic mics in this category, the Rode Podcaster and the NT, no, not the NT5 because NT5 is condenser. But the reason why dynamic mics are so popular in this category is because of their noise rejection. So if your cat's not right here, it's basically gone. And although I have the gain cranked up really high on this, here's the proof positive. If I just take the microphone and I'm on the low pro swing arm, so you guys know what this is. If I just swing the microphone out of picture, watch how quiet it gets. Now all of a sudden you can hear me because I'm loud. Your cat is not this loud, but it's not the same as when I bring the mic over here. That's that. Even from the side rejection is completely different from talking in the top. It's the way the microphone is designed. That's this capsule. The mic isn't here. The mic is here. Like, you see that? Like, it's like in the back. So that capsule design, again, all the way since 1960s, is the reason why this mic is so dope, because it will reject that noise. You want to silence with, here, let's do that. Let's just go dead silent. And let me switch here. And nothing. You can see the Ecamm line's not moving. It's just quiet. It's quiet as a choich mouse up in this piece. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Who's Jason? And thank you, Jason, I guess. Global Wildlife Equipment. Please come to my state. We need your help. Maui is still like, bam. Yes, Timothy Buck Nation. Yes, look. Let me switch to the other guy. And that's actually heavy-handed handling. So that's another thing that makes the SM7B good. And again, as I grab this, arm and moving around, you don't hear it. And everybody else, they grab their bike and it's like obnoxious, right? So one of my favorite things is I oftentimes will hold my mic like this or grab it like this, and you don't hear me fumbling with the mic, and it's just a nervous hands type thing. But yeah, it's kind of funny. And yes, the SM7B is amazing at handling plosives. So if Peter Piper picked peppers and Run Rap Rhyme and Humpty Dumpty sat down, but is on time, and Jappy Nimble wasn't nimble yet, he was correct. The jam master, but never mind. But you understand? So Peter Piper can pick all the pecks in his pickled peppers, and there is no plosives inside this microphone because this microphone is dope. One of the most harsh things to hear when someone is doing their presentation is those really hard plosives. So I recommend that you practice your Peter Piper and practice your plosives, so that way when you're doing your presentations, you don't have plosives popping all over your pretty presentation and ruining your pretty presentation with all of the pugnacious plosives. I just made that up. I have to set my volume to the top of the headphones to hear the noise, but below the top, I don't hear the noise. There you go. And this is where a lot of people screw them up. And great question, Tom, by the way, because as you know, handling the microphone, oh God, it hurts. It hurts. If you're like me and you're wearing high sensitivity headphones, which these in-ear monitors are, when people grab their microphone or they have harsh plosives, it does really hurt the ears. Yes, the huge disadvantage of the RE20 is you can hear every touch of movement. We had those in one of my studios in radio, and if you were to grab the scissor to pull it down, like it would make so much noise, and the engineer used to get super pissed. So you are correct. You are correct on that answer. The noise rejection on the same as both. Yes, that is built in. And what's true is having that built-in preamp will allow it a little bit more clarity. Now, let's do something weird, guys. I have never used this before, so this is going to be super interesting to me. I am going to crank this baby up with the mid boost presence. Okay, wow. Yo, hold on. Sorry. That threw me off because I'm not used to hearing it with that level of cray-cray. But that is just by sliding. Let me get the switch. This is with the mid boost presence on, and I will do the same line read on and off so you guys can hear it. So let's start with off. Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, it's the livest one representing BK to the fullest. Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, it's the livest one representing BK to the fullest. That is weird. That is so weird. And this is with the low cut on and the presence on, and so that's using both of the built-in filtering. And holy God, Matthew said, sang us a song. Okay, I'm going to mid-presence boost on, and we're going to sing Matt a song. Konna yuki mau kisetsu wa itsu mo surechigai hito gomi ni imagerete mo sora jisora miteru no ni kaze ni fukaete. How's that? There you go. Is that better? Yorokondo soe ni. There you go. Tom says, here's one I get a lot. Do Reporter Store windscreen change the sound? I don't think so. I don't think so at all either. But let's do that. Here we go. Tom Nation is in the Buck. Wait, Buck Nation? Never mind. Never mind. What am I trying to say, Tom? Okay, let's do this. Always a challenge on the SM7B is to squeeze this ring. Dang it. The yoke is always in my way. There we go. You got to squeeze the little ring right here. You give it a little squeeze, and see that small little deflection? That causes it to pop out. So, default windscreen, and the what do you call this thing, Tom? Oh, Roadcaster Store, the ReporterStore.com windscreen. I would tell you, if we looked at these things close and up, let me go to my tail camera here. If we look at these things close up, the material is round about the same. If anything, the Shure one's a little denser, but not too much. The material is basically the same, and it's harder to see how much light comes through the black one. If anything, this one is actually thinner, so it should be noisier, but I'm using this guy naked right now. I mean, raw dog naked, and you can barely hear any major difference because of the way this capsule is built. So if you was absolutely cray-cray and you wanted to rock your Shure SM7b or SM7dB purely naked, it still sounds fantastic. It's just the way this mic is built. So I think it's a great question, Tom. And we can say, I don't hear an audible change in using the purple. Actually, let me get a different color so I don't confuse these two microphones. Hold on. I have extras. He got extras. And now this one, this time, one of a kind, blowing your mind like only the Candyman can. Sorry, this one is actually thicker. This is the one with the flocked or kind of like snow covering. And so this is of a thicker density, but less investigation how this one sounds when we poop that papillon. All right, hold your ears 1 second. It's tighter. blood clot. Should know go all the way down. Another common problem I have with, never mind. Okay, so there it is. Ooh, look at that. That's just dope. See, Tom came through with all the questions. Ooh, I found another piece of tape that I've been hiding from y'all for the last month and a half and nobody noticed. Hey, this has Shure on the body. Here, let me remove this lower thread. It actually has Shure written on the body, which might be hard to see. You see that? Where they copied Rode, Tom. But this one doesn't have Shure written on the body. This one does have a plate that you can use to cover the butt in, which I never use. This one has no plate. So for the last month, I basically had that's been on the mic for like the last month and nobody even noticed it. Now that I peeled it off 3 or 4 times, you can kind of see it, but nobody noticed it. It's been like that this whole time. But yeah, super funny how that works. So I had the new car cover the information, but I don't know. Let's turn on some of the Rodecaster settings and see how different we make this homegirl sound. Let me just check any more questions in there. There are some non-reporter store covers on Amazon now. Bruh, appreciate that. Completely appreciate that. It's so crappy. Just it's really a rough call right now, and I won't sidetrack the whole stream, but our economy lives on tourism. So we kind of need that tourism dollar in order to help with the recovery process. But the island itself doesn't really need to see any more tourists right now because it needs time to heal, plus the limited resources. And we're just in a really weird catch-22. If it took 15 years to recover from Katrina, it's going to probably take us 15 to 20 years to recover from that mess. And yeah, it's rough. It's super rough. Rejection noise. Tell me, never mind. I'm not listening to you, Mike. Man, that is super super funny. Wait, no, my desk is clean. What you talking about? My desk is glorious. That's only from today. I tend to keep my studio pretty clean, and I normally clean it when I'm watching other people's streams. Like when I'm watching Tom's membership update this morning, then that's when I'm cleaning my office. I like my desk clean because I feel like I'm doing more work. I don't know why. At least they're slightly more subtle with the logos. True story. True story. This is not even close to my dream mic. I actually own my dream mic. It's sitting on the floor right underneath me. I only use it for voiceover work. I don't really use it really live. Oh yeah, that's right, Marina. You're in Spain, so yeah, you're the same as us. Like we can't wait for them to leave. But hey, I like the original Pop Filter Reporter Store one. Sounds slightly different, but that's you. That's because I've seen you drink, Dickie, and so yeah. No, I'm just joking. Okay, let's get back to doing this real quick. Let me do this. All right, so I'm going to pop on the processing for both, and then let you hear what that sounds like. So this is the SM7dB, and I'm going to do Rodecaster processing on now. And so now you should have a whole different setup. Now, what I'm using, let me explain. This high pass filter is taking out some of the bass. So what I won't do is double filter it. And I have made sure the one on the microphone is turned off. And you just got to slide this frequency, baby, back and forth until you can hear some of that room noise disappear in your setting. A lot of times, audio terms, like I said, are very literal. But in this particular case, although it's literal, I wish the industry had said bass frequency cut as opposed to high pass filter. High pass filter means it is letting the higher frequencies pass through the filter, and it is blocking the lower frequencies. Completely logical to a person that thinks like sound, not logical to a standard user who doesn't have the sound engineer vernacular. So bass cut or high pass filter takes out some of the resonance that your room will build up. So if you're in a room and you're talking all day, bass frequencies move around and they kind of get trapped in little corners and areas of your room, and they reverberate and they just make this hissing and humming sound that lives in your room. Those are stagnant frequencies. You'll often see in a music studio or recording studio, or you see people talking about building a bass trap. They basically soften the corners, put these things up with foam in them, and it's designed to eat those unelegant bass frequencies. So high pass filters on. What the de-esser is designed for is after you do enough voiceover work, you'll find out you have a resonant frequency in your highs that allows for when she sells by the seashore to just, it's obnoxious. And if you talk with heavy S's, it can be a very hurting frequency to people. So I know just from using Final Cut and Logic that mine are around in this frequency range of around 48.5. So I crank those on, turn it down, and it helps remove some of that. It's really subtle. I don't, people from Spain should not use a de-esser because then you're people from pain. Don't get paranoid. Just do it slightly. Don't go crazy with it. Like you see, I'm using a very soft ratio, and I'm only pulling it down just a wee schmiggin. I'm not going nuts with it. I don't use noise gate at all. I can't stand the pumping, and I'm going to let you hear. I just did a Tom Buck joke, and I got away with it. Because if you DS Spain, it's just pain. Wait, that's not a Tom Buck joke. Never mind. I can't even think of something that punny just now. Anyway, so I want to turn on the noise gate, and I'm going to show you why I hate it. Now, when I cut through and I deactivate the gate, you will hear a moment in time where it cuts off. You can hear the cut off. In other words, as soon as I stop talking, that really dead silent, like absolute dead silent, is a little disheartening. Now, this is better than normal. When I switch back to the other SM7b, it will be worse than this. But yeah, I just don't use it because I don't feel that my room is loud enough to need it, but I can hear that opening and closing, and it irritates me. Now, you can fix that a little bit by letting your release time to be a little longer, and so that way it's slower. But that just makes it, I can hear the drop off even more. And so, yeah, I don't know. I hate noise gate. I know there's a reason for it. I don't need it. My room's quiet. Okay. And then I have my compressor turned on. And basically, that's because I often get loud. And when I get loud, I want it to punch down. And on the Rodecaster Pro Duo and the Rodecaster Pro 2, I can actually see a red line on the board where the information is being squeezed down when I get stupid. Okay, let me do this real quick. Let me see if I can pull this off. How you know you make me wanna Wi-Fi. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hold this with my hand, and then I'm gonna put this girl on screen. All right, so as I'm talking, you see that red line is pushing it down. And that means that that's when the compressor is taking what would be too loud and it's bringing it down. And yes, as proof, I've had all of this set at unity gain on this particular mixer. But if I come over to the compressor and I turn this ratio down and turn it down and turn it down, you'll see it's pressing down less. Now it's not pressing down as much, right? And so now you see it there. Or I can crank this all the way up and you'll see it pressing down even further as I talk on it. So normally I do my compression at around 2.8 to 1. And then I can even adjust the threshold of where I'm punching in at. And then that also will lessen the threshold. Now I would have to crack 12 dB in order for that to go down. So now let's crack 12 dB, you see? And so that helps that. So anyway, I normally rock mine at around about 28.8. That's just about where I put it based off of me. It's just enough to take out the heavy breathing in when I go. But it's not so much that it over affects my voice. So there is your compressor. I'm your compressor, pressing down on me, pressing down on me. I'm my compressor. Sorry. Sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God. We Spanish people talk Spanish. All right, so that's what the compressor is doing. And then here's my equalizer. I keep my bass down a little bit. I keep it down a little bit. And this equalizer, you just got to play with it until it sounds nice to you. I'm also always worried about errant frequencies. And because my de-esser is pulling out some things around here in the high bell, I put it back a little wee bit, just past that frequency. And then the exciter just makes it sound, my mic sounds nice. This is no exciter. This is exciter. No exciter, exciter. I don't know. I just like it. It just makes it sound just a wee bit better. And then let's pan it all the way to the left. And then let's pan it all the way to the right. You're listening to 93.9 on your FM dial. I am your new host, Doc Rock. And you are now speaking Spanish. There's a Tom joke. Now we're speaking Spanish when I talk about moving this pen knob. Yes, normalizing your audio, you can't do in the mixer, but normalizing your audio is where you take all of the various signals that you're going to put into a production and you're going to make them have a similar or normal bass line. Or not that kind of bass, but I mean B-A-S-E line. So in other words, I want all of them to have a similar volume. So normalizing or leveling will take all of the audio signal as far as, say, negative volume to positive volume. I want it to be all at -3. Nothing breaks past the 0 dB threshold. I'm going to bring all the audio up. That sometimes can inject noise. So one of the things the compressor can do is compressor can help increase the level of lower audible signals. Like a compressor allows me to talk softly or whisper, but still let it be audible to you because the compressor is lifting the sound of my voice. When I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ASMR. One of my favorite creators this week on the podcast is Timothy Anthony Buck. He is from Coachella, California. He is a fantastic creator. He talks to you about all things sound and media. So we like to bring him onto the show, and we will talk to him about how he has conversations with his dogs when his wife doesn't listen to him. Let's welcome on Mr. Buck. So that's a compressor will allow that to sound at the same level as me doing a full-on Puerto Rican rant that I tend to do from time to time, and I get like all crazy and whatnot. It sounds the same to you because of the compressor. Normalizer you're going to do after the fact, which kind of sort of does the same thing, but it's different. Compressor, even after normalization, you still add compression. Let's put it that way. And this is my order: normalize, EQ, compress, EQ again. That's me. But you do you. Face purple crying. Thank you, Mr. Jason Peasy. All right, so that's my my Rode thing. We already covered that. So let's switch back over to the original SM7 Bravo. Let's put her back in the mix. There's not a problem that I can't fix because I can do it in the mix. In the mix. And you'll see I have all of the exact same settings across the board. I didn't mess with none of them. So this will sound just as good, including the ability to pan back and forth. However, on this guy, if I wanted to make an adjustment to the switches on the back, you normally had to get something like an ink pen or a key, something you can stick in there because it's not as easy as sliding switches. That key don't fit. That key does not fit. If it doesn't fit, I'm going to break the tip on my pencil. Hold on. That is with the low cut. And that is with the presence boost. So now I have low cut on and presence boost on this mic, and they should sound the same again. But the dB will just be cleaner, and it just has to do with having that preamp with the preamp cranked up the way it is. And again, you do not need to go out and upgrade to a new mic, but if you can, I would say it's dope. I absolutely love it. It's definitely something that needs to go into a Tom Buck video, and I know he will do far more crazy testing than I do. So if Shure doesn't send you one, Tom, and you don't want to buy one, I'll send you mine in a box and you can just send it back. But last night the DJ saved my life from a broken heart. See, man, y'all do not sidetrack me, Dinky Shop. Okay, see, Tom ordered his today, so he getting it tomorrow. Man, listen, here's the hard part about NDAs. As you guys might know, Tom and Jared are my buddies, and we have our little private conversation. I've been wanting to snitch because I know Tom would appreciate it. And I'm like, frick, I want to snitch. I can't snitch. I just want to tell Tom. Can I just tell Tom? And I'm like, So I was just sending Tom like audio samples and whatnot. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm glad you ordered it, Tom. I think you'll get a kick out of it. And I'm curious to see, like, if you have the same thought that I have, in the bypass mode, they're identical. There's nothing different. But having the preamp, and I know Tom has done some testing with the SM7b and a cloud lifter, having the preamp, depending on your situation, depending on your room environment, can go a long way because that allows you to drive more power into the mixer, which then in turn, or interface, same thing. I'm going to use those terms interchangeably. Don't get confused. For our purposes, they're the same. But by being able to keep your volume slider lower, you inject less noise into your production. And by injecting less noise in your production, that means everything you do after, as far as your editing, going in and sweetening, I have this whole suite of isotope tools that I use. You don't have to mess with that stuff as much because you're doing it right out of the gate. Now, here's something I'm gonna have a talk with my friends because maybe they're like, oh, Tom only like road stuff. No, I'm joking. Tom is not like that. I'm teasing. I will say this for those of you guys might not have heard, Ecamm, we are about here. Let's do the double mic thing. Let's see. They're very similar, but the noise is much louder now. Let's do two sides of the same mouth, very politician-y, and then let's lift this guy up just a smig so they're even, and then there. This is going to be how I do my shows from now on with the SM7b and the SM7dB. Let's get our angles together. Anyway, Ecamm is about to, wait, in order for this to be right, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I want to finish my sentence, but in order for this to be right, we need to take, which mic are you? You are this one. So we need to take this all the way, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And then we need to take this one all the way here. And then now, oh girl, hey now, now now we're cooking with Pam. All right, so now let me finish the damn sentence. Yes, yeah, 100%, right? And I fully understand that, Tom. It just if you had known it was an SM7B, I think you would know that these are bulletproof. But yes, I am not. I am not super dope on pre-release stuff either sometimes because when people get it and it doesn't work, they immediately call me and I was like, talk to the manufacturer. I didn't make it. Anyway, what I was trying to say, and I'm going to finish my damn sentence. In an upcoming version of Ecamm, we are going to allow you to do some beautification of the audio during the recording. So we're talking EQ, compressor, things of that nature. I have been voting for full ass VST support. However, I am fully understanding that full VST support might be somewhat of a challenge because some people will just get confused by that and then they won't know what to do. Whereas without having full VST support, we can pull off a lot of what people are looking for, but not necessarily go out of our way to make it sound crazy. And I am purely interested. How does it sound with two SM7Bs panned? Does it sound any different? I'm curious. My headphones don't really do a good job of letting it just sounds like it's full to me, but I could be tripping. I could be tripping. And I know that's disgusting. Absolutely not. I know that's a common question that comes up. Marina, your camera already has it built in. Every Sony, Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Fuji, it's all built into the camera. But here's the secret sauce. Use an actual glass filter. And nobody's going to tell you that. All of those stupid digital filters suck because they require too much on your computer and your lighting to be perfect in order to not have weird halo and weird rings. But I'm going to let you in on can you do it with a MacBook Pro webcam? Maybe. Look for that's a good question. I should if nobody's done this yet, I should reach out to my buddies at Nisi. My buddies at Nisi, they make all of my filters that I use. I wonder if they can make a stick-on filter that would do a quarter pro mist or an eighth cut pro mist on a webcam. Because glass filter is the actual answer. And Marina, if you substitute your Android or your iPhone for your webcam, you can get filters for those. So even if, you're all the way back on something, this is painful to touch, something like this Galaxy S7, there are cases that would allow you to use an actual filter. An actual filter is the best bet because it uses less resources and it doesn't have to try to guess where your picture is. So let me show you this real quick, what I'm saying. Pay most attention to this light. This light has my high elation, right? And as you look at my on air sign, move my big melon, there's nice high elation around there. And then on the TV, there's nice high elation. And I don't really care about my skin because that's not what I use it for. I use it for light high elation, but let me show you. Don't fall off the roadcaster. Okay, so that's no filter, that's filter. No filter, filter. Let me move my fat hands out the way. It's hard to do. And talk. No filter, filter. I'm using a very, very light filter. I have a thicker one. Hold on. All right, so here's a soft. And there's your, oh, Armando, why are you talking to Bethany? I need you to put that away, Armando, because I'm in love with Bethany. This is my Telemundo filter. Welcome to Telemundo. Yo tengo una pregunta. Tú eres lindo, yo quiero saber tu nombre. You know what I'm saying? So using actual glass filter. Like all of the weird science, like mechanical filters and software filters, they're pretty much whack. They don't really work too well. They annihilate your system resources, and you have the thing where it can't keep up with you. I would say if you're going to do it in camera, Sony's some of the best. The built-in one that's in your iPhone, you could even do, let's see, let's turn that baby on. Video effects, let's say Camlink. Let's turn on the portrait mode. Are you functioning? Now, this is me doing it with the Camlink. And just look, even with such a marvelous camera, look at how the filter jumps around like a crazy person. It doesn't understand how to work. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Turn that shit off. Use a glass filter. I'm just saying. Yo, Big Deezy, what did you? Man, Dave tried to let the damn cat out of the bag last night because Sweetwater, I don't know how Mitch, hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Let me talk to you from Sweetwater. Mitch Gallagher busted the embargo like hours early, Mitch Gallagher, homie. I love Mitch Gallagher. That dude, you know how you guys say I cost you a lot of money? Mitch Gallagher has cost me a grip over the years. But yeah. Yes, you can use a matte box all day. You're just going to buy the square filters. I'm using an 82 millimeter round. Sammy, pro tip. I buy all my filters in 82 millimeter and use rings to get back to 67. But yeah, you would just buy 4x4s and use a matte box. It's even easier. But yes, you can do it with the matte box. Yes, Dave. So good to see you. He almost snitched last night. He's like, ooh, I know what Doc's going to talk about. He's going to talk about the SM7dB. I was like, Dave, shut up. So, yes, Dave, that's what it is, fam. Yes, I've actually been using this for a hot minute, David. Ain't nobody noticed. What I'm doing right now is being weird, using two at the same time. Let me stop this. It's making my own head hurt. I can't keep track of what I'm doing. Let me go back to one, switch my panning back to normal. Boom. Hey, I wonder if Rode does a double click back to center. It does not. No, it does not. I love apps that let you double click a setting to knock it back to default or back to center in this particular case. And then let me put my boom. Hey, did it show up in the Apple discount thing? Curious. Boom, teleprompter back and full of fizzy. And then now I can lower my microphone and then boom. Boom, boom, boom. I was looking at the discount for and stuff. Oh, you did. Okay, cool. Yeah, like, oh yeah, that was one thing we didn't speak on, Mac Dime. It is, I think I want to call it $100 more. Let me double check over here. Sure. I logged into my person wonder where stuff was. Yeah, this thing it's really cool. I've been enjoying this and liking it a lot. Let me turn off the other one so you don't hear weird sounds. Oh, you gotta call the rep. Well now. So this is the SM. Oh, let me switch over here. I'm in the wrong thing. This is the SM7b, as you all know, right? That's your $399. And let's kick it back to the old school, and let's pull up the Denver Bronco SM7dB, and it's $499. So it's $100 more. But if you really think about it, you're going to spend $100 to $150 on a preamp, and then you got to buy an additional XLR cable. This is actually cheaper. And most preamps out there are going to be 25 dB. This is 28. I'm currently using it with 28 dB added right now in order to get that extra sexy sound, right? So it's actually worth it to get the dB and have one less piece of equipment. When I do the full test and muck around, I will be using it in this particular mode because I have an MVX2U. An MVX2U is a little adapter that you can just plug right into the bottom of this guy and then USB cable it straight to your machine. And then that's going to allow you to use the Motive app from Shure, which is similar to the Rode Central app as far as blessing the mic with a little extra sound and getting there and, you know, making it sound all delicious. So there's your SM7dB. As you can see, it's 100 bones more, but it's worth it. Again, if you do not need to upgrade. Let's put it this way. You have no need whatsoever to go out and buy a new mic. If your other mic is sounding fine, leave it. Don't get twisted. Don't feel like you need to upgrade. If anything, maybe just get a preamp. Maybe the preamp will make you sound better. You know, and that you can do that for $100. You can find used cloud lifters on the marketplace all the time because many people got Rodecaster Duos or Rodecaster Pro 2s, which have that built-in extra preamp and you don't need it. And I clowned my friend Chris, and I was like, with the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the Rodecaster Duo, you don't really need a preamp because it's loud enough. And I take it back, Chris. I'm wrong. It still sounds good with the preamp, even with the Rodecaster Duo, although Rode says don't use a preamp. But I think that's because they're assuming that most people that are going to try to do this won't know what they're doing, won't know that you need to turn phantom power on, and they're going to like just over modulate and mess something up. With the, you know, great power comes great responsibility. So having the preamp on, the gain on the screen basically turned down to the 30s, and then unity gain on the actual console itself, phantom power on. It is definitely cleaner and crispier with the preamp turned on than without. So Chris Stone, I take it back. You win this time, pimp. He's not here to see that. And somebody gonna have to clip that and send it to Chris Stone with his big ass head. Anyway, there you go. There you go. I'm done, family. I appreciate you guys coming through. I'm going to have some time to mess with it. And yes, Jason has made 3 months of the membership. Round of applause. How about a round of applause? How about a standing ovation? He dumb. He real stupid. Yo, Sammy is in for 2 months. Different song. Y'all make it clap. Y'all make it clap. Get busy. You know what I'm saying? When we want to camp with the free stuff. Sorry. Let me. Oh God. Let me come up with some different songs for that celebratory moment. Excellent to get clients. I still use the cloud lifter. Yeah, like it is good. It is good. Man, that the MVX2U is in my travel bag now. It is legit in my travel bag now. Absolutely love that thing. I actually have a live stream client today. I'm going to be streaming some Hawaiian culture type stuff. So I have to go pack for all of that insanity. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming in on the off day. This is not our normal streaming time. We're normally Tuesday, Saturday at 8 a.m. Hawaiian, which is like 2 p.m. Eastern, and the rest of y'all can calculate it. It is 8 p.m. Marina, because you're in pain. So every Tuesday, Saturday, Marina, at 8 p.m. and, Catalan time, you can pop in and be a friend and kick it with us. We love to welcome you to the family. We have a blast over here. And yeah, so boom, just let us know if you want to come and hang out. Everybody else, you can always find us in the Discord. I have my own Discord channel. Everybody hangs out there. Sammy and the crew just come in. We have lots of conversations in there, and we have a good time. So feel free to pop in if you have further questions or something you want to see, something you want me to cover, something about content creating, or whatever. How much is the cost of tea in China right now? Let me know. I got you. I appreciate all of you guys. And thank you to Shure for sending me this mic. I got a chance to play with it and help discover what I think will be probably one of the greatest pieces of tech for content creators right now, because the podcast movement is booming again. And so, yeah, I'm really excited and happy that Shure trusted in me to do this. So, oh, yes, let me hit you guys, just in case you need one, let me hit you with the linky links because they're different. Why you don't put the link in the description, Doc? And send these links to Paul. That's how I use my phone. I'll send these links to Paul because Paul will add them to the Doc Rock list of links. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you right now, operating out of two phones is a pain in the butt. Operating out of two phones is super silly. I am going to send back the 13 because, yes, the 14 and the 15 are driving me nuts. I was going to keep all three, but that's stupid. I got two phones, one for the plug and one for the load. He got two phones. I can't finish this song on this TV show. Okay, copy that link. Boom. Gigi, your Shure is custom built specifically for you. Your Shure is custom built specifically for you from Katie and I because we love you. Like, I am so excited about Gigi's mic. I wish everybody could have one, but you can't because we made that one specifically for Gigi, and it's beautiful. And let me put the link on here. And then remember to add this to the description. Jason had me zoom in. Man, Old Country is something wrong with that dude, but that's my buddy. Like, I love him to death, but his mama definitely dropped him on his head at one point in time. He not straight. He not right. As we say in the South, which I'm not from, he's a little touched, but that is my partner in crime. I love that dude. So I'm glad. Good to see you here, Wildfire. Appreciate the support. Y'all keep doing what you do. And yes, family, I love you guys. If you guys have any questions, by all means, drop me in the comment. If you're catching this on the replay, drop them in. Drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to get back at you and make sure we get you squared away and answered. And yeah, I just want to leave this stream with going, my mic sounds nice. Check one. Aloha, people. Peace out.
It never gets me down. City of mind.